The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Sonic Web Studios specializes in custom web design, app development, social networking, search engine optimization, domain registration, email marketing, online stores, and more. Since our birth, we have been designing and developing immaculate websites and providing web solutions which are a cut above the rest. As a leading web designing enterprise, we have a team of extremely talented web designers who are well-focused and have the experience of working on multiple web developing platforms such as PHP, Magento, custom WordPress, and more. Sonic Web Studios has been helping businesses of all kinds, whether big, small, established, or startup, impress their audiences with exemplary web solutions. We don't just create beautiful and functional websites. We give you a complete online solution with the main goal of enhancing your yearly revenues. We aim to give your business the online exposure and brand acknowledgement that will help you in achieving increased conversions leading to profitable sales. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show. Thanks for tuning in to the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM. If you're interested in sponsoring my show, you can send me an email to the MikeWagnerShow@gmail.com, or you could also donate to the podcast. Just go to the Donate Listen site, and you can also donate whatever you like. Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast. For those who are interested, Anchor can give you everything you need in one place for free, which you can use right from your phone or computer. We got creation tools, allows you to record and edit podcasts so it sounds great, and they'll distribute the podcast for you so it can be heard everywhere. Spotify, Apple, Google, many more. And you can make money from the podcast with no minimum listenership. So download the Anchor app for free or go to Anchor FM to get started.
Hello?
Hello, Joy. It's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show. How are we doing today?
Okay, I'm going to connect Mario here.
All right, great. Boy, don't you love this pandemic, I'll tell you.
It's unbelievable.
Hey, Mario, how's it going?
Oh, just pandemonium, pandemic-amonia.
Pandemic-modium, yes. Oh, yes.
Too much fun, baby.
Oh, I think we're having too much fun. We're crawling all over walls, and I think we'll have a wall crawling Olympics after this whole pandemic is done.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I call it a pandemic.
Pandemic, yes.
Pandemic.
Pandemic. And pandemic, yeah. Pandemic, yes.
Or we could wait, like the real McCoys. We could be like Grandpa McCoy. Can't read it. Can't.
It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, iTunes, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. Mike brings you great guests and interesting people from all across the globe. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another great episode of the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at Facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and over 35 podcast platforms. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Also follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. These guys are back. We had them on back some time ago. I think it was around last August. And fast forward to about several months later, the Pondhawks have officially returned, and they're better than ever. Of course, you know, they've had some new music on the way before the pandemic came down. And of course, I think we'll have like the some kind of Olympics or some kind of game or something, and maybe a little stand-up comedy. I'm sure these two just have a great act, and they'll play it for us as well too. And yes, the future's in our hands. We'll talk more about that. But right now, these guys have landed. These guys have returned, and we had a lot of fun last time. And looking forward to them. Keep having them on again, ladies and gentlemen. Live from outside Chicago, Mario and Jory. Yes. The Pondhawks. Guys, good afternoon, good evening, and good morning. Thanks for joining us once again.
Mike Wagner, thanks for having us back, buddy. We love being on your show so much.
We love you.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, hey, I love you guys. Yes, that's right.
We keep showing up like a bad penny, brother. I'm telling you.
A bad penny? No, it's a good penny. I have to say that. You guys are welcome anytime.
Well, thanks.
Yes, that's right. And, of course, a lot of things have happened on the way since we talked last. And, my gosh, I think it was sometime last year, maybe before football season hit. And you did have some plans coming up before the pandemic hit. And before we get into all that, once again, just quickly tell us how you got started.
Well, the way we got started, I met Jory at the Beatle Fest. We're both huge Beatle fans, but you know what? McCartney and Wings fans, Paul and Linda fans, we just love that sound.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, really. Yeah. And we kind of, we were at the Beatle Fest. I was buying a picture. I didn't know she was Paul's photographer, the Paul, not Paul Bunyan, the other Paul, So,
yeah.
The other one was a lot of, flannel shirt things. But this other Paul, he was really good, But him and Linda. And so I invited her over. She goes, she was going to come and show me all these a slideshow of all these pictures she had taken of Paul, because I told her, hey, I got a buddy that did video for Paul. He was asked to follow Paul around for 48 hours, and that was a cool thing. And I was going to be the fly on the wall and watch them both, but we kind of had a kinship growing there. And after my buddy Randy Reason, who, by the way, did shoot our first video, Midnight Howl, for the Pondhawks, and he's a great videographer. Did Paul McCartney, Bon Jovi, you name it, he's done it. He did it. It was a great guy. Anyways, so he left a little early, and Jory stuck around a little bit. And this was at the place where my old band was practicing. And they says, "Hey, we got to go over a few things. Do you mind?" I says, "Jory, do you mind?" She goes, "I'll stick around and listen to you." And as we're playing, and I see her sitting on like one of the playback monitor wedges, and she's singing and playing a tambourine. I go, I wonder how she sounds. I go, hey, it seems like I'm lip reading, it seems like, the words come up, and sing next to my mic, share my mic. And, oh, my God, she's got this heavenly voice and spot on harmonies. Like, she's been waiting her whole life to do these harmonies with somebody. And unfortunately for her, it was us. But I was grateful for it. And I go, wow. And besides, the bonus and the big deal was she sounded like a female me. We had
my goodness.
Same kind of timbre, like that raspiness or whatever it is, or that tone corduroy quality in the voice. She sounded like me, only a couple of registers up. I go, we should harmonize. I'm going, she's got the spot on harmony. And I asked, I says, we got a show in 4 or 5 days. You want to do the show with us? And she said,
"You're crazy."
and of course, I showed her the papers that proved that I wasn't anymore. Yeah, but anyway.
No, not true.
No, I'm just kidding. Okay, I still was. No, but anyway, so she did the show with us, and actually recently, and this was like almost 14 years ago, we recently saw for the first time a playback of this. Somebody had videoed this, and in the first show we did together, it looked like we had been playing together for decades.
Yeah, it was really something to watch, because
our movements
were kind of like in the center, in the band. Mario was there on one side, and the band was behind and on the other side. And the thing was, we weren't even looking at each other, but when we were doing the songs, we moved exactly the same way. It was really weird.
Like, yeah.
Very interesting.
It does sound like it as well, too. And of course, we talked about, some of the things you did. And of course, you always have your 3 albums. The Pondhawks Have Landed, Dreaming Over Ireland, Blue Light. And, tell us more about that and basically just, what influenced you into Beatlesque. So it's like, you just got some great stuff.
Well, first I want to say that all our albums are sanitized now.
Yes. You had to clean them first. You had to call a sanitizing crew. And,
That's right.
And I was going to come out, but unfortunately I got tied up. In fact, somebody must have took my sanitizer, my Lysol, and most importantly, my toilet paper, which later I realized I didn't give a crap.
Oh, jeez.
We wrap our CDs in the toilet paper. That's why they buy it, Not for the CD, for the toilet paper.
Exactly it. And of course, I was
By the way, speaking of toilet paper, if you flush a Pondhawk album down the toilet in Australia, it plays counterclockwise backwards. I just want to tell you.
Really? Yeah. I bet you they play backwards.
You got
I'm ready to pull out my vinyl and do the same thing and play backwards.
And it will also flood your basement too.
Yeah.
And if you play it back slowly, it goes, "We don't take returns on PP and
water." and of course, you couple that with number 9. Number 9.
No, actually, because of the TP thing, it was number 2, number 2.
One, number 2, number 1.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'll tell you one thing, Mario. I think you and Joy would definitely do some great stand-up comedy. I'll tell you that. So it's like you just play a few, do some stand-up comedy, and whatever else.
we do it in the studio all the time, but nobody ever hears it. But so thank goodness.
We ad-lib really good.
Oh my goodness! And since we talked last, I think it was around last year. You guys had some interesting new material. You had some plans coming up before the pandemic hit, and to give us an update to what's been happening with you guys.
Oh, we've worked on about 5 brand new songs. One of them's in the final lap. The other one's almost in the final lap, and one's they're all coming into vogue. They're all one at a time. One, I just put a couple of acoustic guitar tracks, one left, one right. I like to do it the old-fashioned way, the way they did it back in Abbey Road when the Beatles, like in the Rubber Soul era, where they played 2 separate tracks for like an acoustic, or if you had the room for it, by the way. Mm-hmm. Before they had what they called ADT, which was brilliant invention, which is it's just like the delay, the automatic delay, where you would take it 35 millisecond, 350 milliseconds off, and it would sound delayed. But to actually, like John Lennon used to take his vocals and he would sing it twice on 2 different tracks, and I would like to do that on acoustics, and it seems to work because there's different little biorhythms going on the 2 tracks that it's like, and it's a photograph of music. It's an audio photograph, and you can't ever duplicate it if you played it twice. So it's just like a magic thing, and you throw it in, and it works.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like it as well, too. And I remember watching a documentary about the Beatles on the other side as well, too. And I think it was either Rubber Soul or was Sgt. Pepper's that they actually, took the reel-to-reel and they strung it on just different areas, like a pencil, a chair, a pole, baseball bat, whatever else, and just came up with this sound that couldn't be duplicated. And I thought to myself, man, wouldn't that be something if you just took that, like, say, with you took it, like, say, with wrapped tape around a blender or your cell phone, or say like a Keurig coffee maker or something like that. It's just like take that tape, and it's like you can just do just amazing things with it. You think about
absolutely that. And it can never, it's a one-time shot in eternity, one-time shot. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, you try it again. But the cool thing, it's a one-time shot. That's the cool thing, which is very much unlike all this world of MIDI files and perfection and auto-tune and
beloved auto-tune. Oh my God, the most abused. It's like steroid. It's like audio for steroids. That's the thing. So
right. Absolutely.
And anybody can sing. She got auto-tune, right?
Mm-hmm.
Except when they're live on the stage. Then.
Oh yeah. I mean, there was a story about Britney Spears when she warmed up with an auto-tune. It was just like, some people say she sounded terrible, and I think ticket sales, when word got out, went down afterwards. So it's like, yeah, I better take some singing lessons, Britt. Oops, I may not do it again.
I don't know what she did, but this auto-tune thing. I mean, you blow a note, you go back and you redo the track. I mean, and you get it as close as you can. I mean, and this gives so much credence to these people in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, that 80s didn't have. 80s we were starting to get into the auto-tune thing, but they had to have perfect pitch or near perfect pitch. You got to cop them some slack.
Otherwise, they had to do it over again.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like now where you had digital and you could go back and you could, splice it, kind of in the digital way. So, and my aunt, she was in the 50s. She was a jazz singer on Mercury Records, and when they did takes, it was with the orchestra and everything was over, and they would splice whenever, but it wasn't like, it was like high fidelity sort of in the day. So, but it, when you listen back to it, it sounds pretty cool compared to stuff now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have to say that too. And of course, we'll also talk about your new song you're going to be playing as well too, or one of them should say, that's related to the pandemic. But first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Looking for a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@SonicWebStudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at Facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen to over 35 podcast platforms, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Google Play, Apple, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Also follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're here with Mario and Jory of the Pondhawks here on the Mike Wagner Show. Mario Novelli and Jody Grayson talking about how they met up, how they got started, their love for the Beatles and more. Right now we're going to play one of their songs called Future in Our Hands, which applies to the current pandemic. And if we do happen to get past that, this will be remembered. Future in Our Hands from the Pondhawks here on the Mike Wagner Show.
Remember our early days, those hazy summer nights, evenings of innocence, when everything always turned out right. We were just kids back then. The future in our hands, exploring each other's lives. Adventure was ours to prove. Time was a friend of ours. It seemed like the hours would never move. So much in love, in love. The future in our hands. You opened the world to me. We grew up side by side. That would be destiny. Our feelings were certain, hard to hide. the wind, because tomorrow is miles away. We were the best of friends. The future in our hands. On and on. Well, if I had to go back in time and know what I know now, I'd do it the same again. You know, the powers would hook us together somehow. We could be kids again. The future in our hands. On and on. We could be kids again. The future in our hands. On and on. We could be kids again. The future's still at hand. On and on.
Future in Our Hands of Pondhawks here on the Mike Wagner Show. Great song. Sounds John Lennon-esque. And tell us more about that song and what inspired you to write the tune.
Well, you know, many of our songs, Mike, it was written on several levels. The first level being, you know, somebody that you're in love with, and you know you've dated and you've going through life with, and had, you know, whatever, kids, grandkids, whatever, you know, gone through the whole gamut. But on another level, it's the future is in our hands on a spiritual level.
Mm-hmm.
You see, as it is right now. And you know, the task was put upon the people of the world. And I think, for my opinion, generally the people of the world, all the people in the world, have risen to the task. The future is in our hands, and I think everybody's rising to the moment. I really think they've done a great job so far. The general public, I really think so. And I'm hoping, because the future is in our hands even more so now.
Mm-hmm. And that's very important, too. And, Jory, what do you got to say about that?
I think, yeah, it's also because now the younger generation also, they're the ones that are going to be in charge soon. And we depend on them to get us all through this pandemic. And I think that maybe they don't realize it so much now, but as they get older, they'll realize what happened, you know, to the world and how they helped save the world. Hopefully they'll all get together, wear those masks, because I'll tell you, in my neighborhood, they're not wearing them. So maybe they'll get the message sooner or later.
Well, I'll tell you what, Mike and Jory, let me coin a phrase right now. I want to come up with a phrase. We talked about briefly in the pre-show. And let's call these youngsters, these very youngsters that have been thrust this horrible situation, and they've got to live through it, as the kids during the teenagers, like the Beatles were. The Beatles were teenagers during World War II, or little kids during World War II. Let's say they were youngsters, not teenagers, but call these quarantinagers.
Quarantinagers, I like that. or should come quarantiners.
Quarantinagers. That's like the baby boomers, the quarantinagers. What do you think, guys?
I think it's good.
I like that, actually. Very catchy. Quarantiners, yes.
Quarantinagers, yeah. Quarantinagers.
Yeah, yes, I like that. And, of course, you know, with the Olympics, we talked about in the pre-show as well, too. And, you know, with the Olympics and all that, it's like people playing games. It's like instead of the Olympics, they call it like the pandemics. You know, something like that.
Right.
And instead of like, you know, like the 100 meter 100-yard dash, you can call it maybe like the 100-yard going from your bedroom to the fridge or to the bathroom or say to the front door and telling your dog stop. You know, something like that.
Right.
Or get your can of Lysol and sanitize there.
And now my sleeping jogging pants into my daytime jogging pants, Olympics. How fast can we get into it?
or who can come out of it faster, who changes faster.
Yeah.
And you know what? And now my jewelry is worthless. I can trade it for like toilet paper. So,
Hey, don't tell anybody, but I got an autographed copy here for you guys. I have an autographed copy of toilet paper. Starting bid $1 million, or a year's supply of hand sanitizer. Which one?
only half used. Yeah.
And what about your car? And what about your car? How cool is your car? It's a Rolls. It's a Rolls.
Rolls Royce, yeah. Or just let it roll.
Yeah, roll.
I don't think they make enough sanitizer for the car.
Yeah.
Not yet. It's like you got your car washes, and then you're going to have like your car sanitizers, or like say, maybe your like, feet washers, or like say your hair washers, or something like that. Instead of toothpaste, it'd be like sanitizer paste, and it's like oh, the list is endless.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're a germaphobe to begin with, forget it. I mean, it's all game over. It's like it's got to be. Could you wait? Dig this. Okay, here's a concept just came up with just now. Take Jack Klugman and Felix and Jack Klugman and Tony Randall in the Odd Couple, or even so they're doing the Odd Couple now, and now we've got the coronavirus. How would Felix Unger be handling this?
He'd be screaming.
Oh my gosh, I think you probably have a heart attack and end up going to the hospital and catching corona, and Jack Klugman's probably like watching baseball, maybe the Subway Series from 2000, or if he's desperate, watching the Cubs in Cleveland, Game 7 of the World Series 2016, or you really don't go back, White Sox and Astros from 2005, Game 4. Right. Just watch that, yeah.
Or Walter Matthau and Jack Lemmon. Would Walter Matthau have a hole in his mask so he could smoke a cigar? I mean, what do you do?
Or quarantine the fast food that comes in. So it's like, check everything out before you bring in a house. And it's like, do you have to wear a mask for all that?
What would the poker game in Oscar Madison's living room look like? They'd all be 6 feet away. That'd be a giant table.
Oh yeah, and of course, cheating would be discouraged, but then they would find ways, to take their smartphones or maybe put little cameras, like say they wear their hats, put little cameras, and they can just scan and see what cards they have, or maybe just get one of those infrareds, just those emotion detectors, or check out their pupils, eyelids. It's like, what are they really thinking, or what are they playing? Are they going to put down the ace or not? And it's just like, they can do all this AI and everything else. It'll take World Series of Poker to a whole new level if you think about it.
Right. This is
it's true.
Strange days indeed.
Right. Even with the new in your house Zoom video that they're all doing, television shows that they did in studios. Which actually I like, because it's cool to see all these celebrities at home, being normal, not wearing makeup and stuff like that, and just, just being natural type.
And can you imagine back in the day with the Fab Four, John, Paul, George, Ringo all having Zoom? Can you imagine what that would be like back in the day if they did Zoom or Skype back in the day? It's like, think about it.
It would probably be like this, Mike. They're like, hey, Sean, I got this great idea for this song, except there's this thing, the thing on my shoulder. What do you think about? It's probably a web. It's probably what are you talking about, Paul? It's probably a bloody webcam,
Well, you have to wait. You have to wait first. I'm having some lox and bagels right now. You can have some of that, and of course you have John Lennon's wife walking through, and you go. Just singing in the background while they're doing their session.
Yeah.
But can you imagine? If the Beatles had this technology, as great as they were back then, on 4 tracks, amazing.
Oh yeah.
I could see something like that, or it's like if they did that concert from on on top of the building. Was it Apple Records or something? And they did
yeah.
that by Zoom.
On top of EMI, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, right.
yes, that's right. And of course, you think about it. Oh my gosh, the possibilities are endless. They did this on Zoom, and they could probably just completely redo Sgt. Pepper's or anything like that. Rubber Soul, maybe just completely remake their first album.
I actually had the opportunity to talk to George Martin back in the mid '90s, and he was in Chicago giving a symposium on making a Sgt. Pepper, and he only took about 4 or 5 questions, and 2 of them were mine. And one of them was, I asked him, I says, Sir George, I says, what do you think about MIDI files these days, how people can just grab orchestral pieces and take strings and play them on keys or strings, guitar strings, MIDI files. And he told me, he goes, he was really excited about this question. He goes, because I told him I had that equipment in my living room at the time. Now it's over at Liverpool, and better equipment than back then in the mid '90s. But he told me, he says, the equipment I had then in my living room far exceeded what he had to work with back then. That's what kind of a genius George Martin was, and he didn't use the MIDI. He told me George Martin told me that night that he had a studio in Montserrat, which was later ruined by a hurricane. But he was starting to do things, I believe he said for Disney, that he was starting to kind of get into the MIDI situation, which expedited the whole process of creating a song. Instead of taking a year to make a song, it would take a month, So that's cool stuff. I mean, and then time goes on.
Mm-hmm. And it does sound like it too. And of course we'll talk more about what's coming up as well too. But first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look on a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at Facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, and over 35 podcast platforms. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Also follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. We're here with the Pondhawks, Mario Novelli and Jory Grayson, both Beatles fanatics and lovers of the Fab Four. Know the Pondhawks, they sound like Paul McCartney, Beatles, Wings, ELO, just all combined. Of course, they've had their albums, The Pondhawks Have Landed, Dreaming Over Ireland, Blue Light, and more. And of course, their singles, Midnight Howl, Orange Sunset Time. We also played Afraid of Love back when we first talked as well, too. And what are your upcoming plans for 2020 and beyond, especially when the pandemic is about to be over?
Jory, go ahead.
Well, we're actually working on new material now, so we're sort of hunkering down in the studio because obviously our gigs are canceled. We're postponed till whenever this is over with. So it gives us some time to just kind of write music and put something together. And we're looking forward to it. I mean, we do miss like playing the live concerts for people, but those are things that you really can't do now because it's too dangerous. So and we just hope we can put stuff out there so people can see it, and enjoy it while they stay at home.
And to add to the dilemma of doing this recording now, Jory and I are quarantined in different spots. So I've got to put my tracks down on, deliver it to her via, cyberspace or whatever, and then she puts her tracks down. And it's like right now we can't be, when we're together, we can give the old eye, like, raise the eyebrow. You answer this one. You know you'll have a funny one for this one because Mike has got a great sense of humor, and he'll dig it. But, it's just like, we got to say, Jory, go ahead. Would you like to elaborate on this? It's one of those deals. But, but it's like that in the studio too, Mike, because, like, okay, I've got about half a dozen, well, maybe about a dozen tracks I've done finished. I agreeing to Jory, she sees what she likes and doesn't like, and then she adds her stuff and gives it back to me and says what I like and don't like, and back and forth. And we respect each other, we love each other, and we've been working together all these years. I mean, we respect, we love each other's music, and we know it's going to come out good, but it's a longer process because it's not just like the wink of the eye, say, that's a good take. It's just like, okay, I'll give it to you. Call me back next Tuesday and tell me if it's a good take.
Or ping me or something. Send me a text, or it's like Instagram or whatever. Yeah.
Send it in a roll of toilet paper, please.
Yeah. There you go.
Or one of the social media.
Mask, please. Yeah.
In one of the social, and speaking of social medias, I mean, I don't know how true this is, but I heard that YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook are merging next week.
Really?
They're going to call it U-Twit Face.
Come to think of it, I think I've heard that from somewhere.
I'm not sure on this one. I'm just guessing.
Well, I tell you one thing. In the world of mergers, it is true. And did you hear about the two largest delivery companies are coming together? Federal Express and
go
UPS.
ahead, baby.
Yeah. And they just merged and renamed the company Fed Up.
Oh, great. FedEx, UPS, great. Nice.
Oh, nice. My gosh, yeah. I'll have to remember that. U-Twit Face. I think, I guess we'll see what Mark Zuckerberg has to say about that one.
Uh-oh. Mark, we love you. Thank you for that, son. No.
or you can do a song about that, too.
Oh, there you go.
There was something on Facebook where they had a sign that said, the last thing the human race did was use too much paper and wipe themselves out.
Oh, I heard about that. Yeah, use too much paper, wipe themselves out.
Right.
There you go.
Oh my gosh.
Well,
I'll tell you one thing. I think we'll start a bidding war on toilet paper again. It's like, pull out some toilet paper and a roll and autograph it, and then just put it on eBay and just say that, hey, here's an autographed roll of toilet paper. It's like, setting the bid at $1 million or put in Bitcoins. We'll just send to your iPhone or something.
There you go.
No, I think they'll just use it, It's like, oh, forget this autograph. We need the toilet paper.
I just could never figure that out when that whole thing started with people hoarding toilet paper. I mean, they're buying like $1 million worth of toilet paper, and they're spending $5,000 on food. Something's wrong with this equation. Something is wrong.
Well, you know what it is. It's like when you go up to the cash register and you have your food and your toilet paper, you have to ask the person that's checking you out, do I have enough toilet paper for the food that I just bought?
There you go.
Unless it's burritos or tacos, and I'm sure you have to triple that.
There you go.
I guess you wonder, too, it's just like, how would the Fab Four have handled the pandemic like that? How much toilet paper do they actually need? Maybe John Lennon can write a song about that, or maybe, build a recording studio out of toilet paper. Who knows?
I think Paul would be singing "Digging a Hole."
I'm digging a hole. Okay.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness.
with toilet paper, lonely yacht club.
Yes, we hope you enjoy the show, and we're going to provide you a royal flush.
Yeah.
Lucy Sky with toilet paper. Yeah.
Oh yeah, or what is it? Oh gosh, I'm trying to think. Somewhere Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds. It would be what What goes with toilet
Lucy
paper?
in the Sky with Charmin.
Yes, that's a good one. Yeah,
There you
or
go.
and then you add fabric softener to it. Lucy in the Sky with Downy.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, it's like, add Downy to some toilet paper, make it soft, or that, what's that bear in there? It's like, oh, it's all snuggly soft. It's like, there are days you're in a good mood, he's cute, and if you're in a bad mood, you just want to just strangle that thing. Oh, my goodness.
Well, maybe Clorox, because you can't find that anymore.
That's a problem. I can imagine what the Fab Four would do with Clorox or something. Or do you suppose Ringo could have sanitized his drum set, or maybe put some sanitizer? You think his drums would sound better? Or maybe you have a really wild drum solo, something like that. So, or create a new sound. Here I got my sanitized version.
Well, you wonder what they could do, because they really couldn't be in the studio together.
Mm-hmm.
Unless 6 feet apart or whatever. It's you wonder, because we can even rehearse, because we'd be too close,
Right.
a rehearsal room and even recording. So it's kind of it's a.
We're rehearsing separately, and it's painstakingly, but we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it work. Like I said, we've got 5 new songs, 4 of them for sure. Back to the gravity of the situation, without making fun of it. It's just which is fun too. But these 4 of the songs we wanted to encapsulate now while the feelings were here. It's like having a time capsule, just like. If you're in dire straits, say we were during the Great Depression or during anything, or the pandemic now, you got to encapsulate your feelings and write them down now while they're happening, because maybe 6 months or a year from now, when it's gone, this is like if you're starving, right? You're starving. I'm writing a song on what it feels like to be starving. Once you eat that big meal, I'm not starving anymore. I don't have that feeling. So we're trying to encapsulate those, and I'm hoping we did encapsulate them, not because we wanted to capitalize on them, but for a time capsule for us to look back on, for our children and grandchildren, great-grandchildren, look back and say, hey, great-grandpa and great-grandma, boy, this is the mood they were in back in those days. So that's what it is. It's a time capsule. Sorry, but, that's what it is.
Mm-hmm. And, of course, we're looking forward to having you guys back on as well, too. It is a definite, and we got to do it around Thanksgiving and Christmas time. Hopefully the pandemic is over, and maybe we can sing some Beatles holiday tunes as well, too. Wonderful Christmas time, something like that. And pass around the eggnog. And if you're still in this pandemic, it's like virtual eggnog or something like that. So...
Hey, if we're still in a pandemic by next Christmas, I'll be a staunch alcoholic. Don't worry, we'll have plenty of eggnog to go around.
Oh, yeah. And, of course, you can put out your best work as well, too. So,
absolutely, baby.
Yeah, that's right. And when do we expect your new music coming out?
I'm hoping by June, mid-June, early July.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Well, we can make it work as well, too. We'd love to have you back on before the year is over. And, of course,
we'd love to have you, launch it off. I mean, you've been great to us. We love your show. We love you. You're a great guy. You got a great sense of humor. You got a great head on your shoulder.
Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you. And, of course, with the pandemic and everything else, my head is still on my shoulders. It's still straight. It hasn't fallen off. And if it does, I got family members that know how to screw it back on. So, yeah, my head's still on straight as we speak here. So, yes. Definitely have you back. And, of course, if you guys had a podcast, and feel free to, start a podcast, I love to be on your show as well, too. So
that would be a blast.
Yeah.
Yes, that would be. And, of course, once again, Mario Novelli and Jory Grayson of the Pondhawks, a big thank you for your time. You've been fantastic and always fantastic, and definitely looking forward to you have on not just not soon, but very, very, very soon. And, of course, always keep us up to date. And once again, tell us about your upcoming projects, what's your website, how do people contact you, where can people purchase or listen to your classic works?
Yes, Pondhawks.com. Anything like Instagram, it's the Pondhawks. It's Instagram, the Pondhawks, and Facebook, / the Pondhawks. So just put the Pondhawks after everything, with no space in the middle, of the words, and you'll find us everywhere.
Okay, and Mario, how about you?
Well, basically same thing, except we got that ghost in the studio, Casper, we call him. If you want to contact him, you got to use a crystal ball. Sorry, that's the thing. He's not on Facebook or anything like that.
Yeah, he's not good answering his emails. So,
but he's a ghost. Or was that Goofy or Donald Duck trying to imitate Casper? Well, one of the two. Once again, the Pondhawks, a big thank you for your time. You've been fantastic. Looking forward to hearing again very, very soon. Again, keep us up to date as always. Looking forward to chatting with you around the holidays. Maybe single Paul McCartney or whatever, Christmas time and stuff. Pass around the eggnog and keep us up to date. You guys have been fantastic, and hopefully this pandemic will be over.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Amen. Yes.
Your lips to God's ears.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for listening to the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Please support our program with your donations at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again next time for another great episode of The Mike Wagner Show.